everybody, podcast 194. I nailed the intro as I always do. We're a few minutes late. Ryan, what's the reason we're late?
Katie was on TikTok.
I was on TikTok at 6:55, ready to go at 7 o'clock, and you two were still chatting away.
I believe her exact words were "F the guy's podcast."
Yeah, I was trying to
not
think
the
this
letter
shit.
F, like something worse than that.
I'm out here for sabotage today.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh. So obviously, our regular podcast hosts, they have lives apparently. So we brought in the ladies' podcast main host and ROC for some weird reason. Thanks for joining us, man.
To fill the screen.
You are more than welcome. This is my favorite tournament, so I don't mind talking about it. So
Yeah, perfect. Before we get into that, what's some opening banter we got going on? We know fantasy baseball's strong in the 5-pin universe background. How are you guys doing in that one?
Let's let Katie go. She had her finger up.
I have things to say about this. This year, I know that there's an IR. So when my players are hurt, I don't just keep them in my starting lineup. So watch out, everybody.
I literally told you that last year at Heritage, and you're just figuring it out now.
Because I forgot about it because I wasn't really paying attention to you.
You know why I forgot about it? The juice. They have the good juice here. I saw it yesterday. It's there on tap.
Perfect.
The forgetful juice.
I would also like to say that I crushed Hendo last week. 7-2 or something like that. I won everything.
Who did not draft his team because his girlfriend was giving birth to their child.
Okay,
that was like months ago.
Yeah. A, he could have traded up since then. B, that doesn't sound like very good commitment. And I'm winning right now against Joe Buck yourself.
That's Tim. It's the same name in every league because he's in every league that I'm in. But
how's your guys' fantasy baseball doing?
I think I'm doing pretty good in the 5-pin universe one, except I lost to Mr. Tyler Titgat last week. And he was very pumped about that.
Wow.
That guy doesn't even know.
I'm supposed to be the baseball guy, and I lost to the guy whose team name is literally "I hate this game" or "I still hate this game." So
I'm still in last. I just checked the stats. I won last.
You're bad whether your brother drafts your team or you draft your team. It's all the same. Just
I came on here prepared to be like, I'm doing so good. Look at me, I won. And then I haven't looked at the stats of what the
You had no idea you were in last. Okay.
I had no idea I was in last. I thought I've won like a couple weeks. How is that possible?
I'm pretty sure I beat you like 8-2 like 2 weeks ago. So
I've looked at that league twice in 6 weeks, and I'm not last. So it's going fine. I'm 1 point ahead of you, I think. I looked at it today.
Oh yeah, this is the one you had begrudgingly drafted because you're like, I'm not doing it.
No, I was fine doing it. I was just doing it to prove a point.
True. Well, you're still beating someone, so she won't be named on the podcast. But
I think he's actually 2 ahead of me because there's someone in between.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Young is in second last.
Yeah,
battle of the bottom.
He's only got one working arm. He's no good. We could speak to the NBT. Jeff Young actually almost won that tournament with one bad arm.
Yeah, which leads us to believe, is it really that bad?
Faker. He's looking for sympathy. But I think Shane Chafe won both sides of that, so congratulations to him.
Yeah, there was some wild bowling out of NBT this weekend. Like with Brandon in his qualifying shift, he was like on absolute fire. A 400 backed with like a 370 and then another 300. And then into that championship round, and Shane Chafe just like cruised through both sides.
Yeah, he decided he wanted to win, obviously.
Yeah.
Also, best podcast guest ever, Shane Chafe.
I know that he was going into the weekend very confident and that was very sure that after the morning he would not have to play anymore on Saturday and he'd be ready to go for Sunday and he could help out on Saturday afternoon. So I have insider information. He was confident, ready to go.
Worked out for the best for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Obviously we had Bowl Canada's YBC Nationals this weekend too. Just ended today, I believe.
Yeah.
yeah, lots of that going on. Unfortunately, they didn't have any live streaming due to technical issues and other things apparently in the background. Um, yeah. How do you guys feel about that? No live stream for a national event?
Yeah,
Can I
I
do like
know.
the fake like 5-pin universe cough? Our 5-pin universe. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Not like we do that for every event that we can, but
I know that my Facebook feed has been filled with people making comments about how they wish there had been a live stream. Lots of the players and the families were trying to just put on Facebook Lives when there was matches going on that were important or were their children or things like that, so people could at least have a little bit of a glimpse as to what was going on. But
Yeah.
it definitely was hurting not having a live stream there, and like that is something I think not just our little 5-pin universe crew feels, but I definitely saw kind of a similar message across the board, across the country.
The real problem with them not streaming it is this is the future of our game. And the only way to grow this game is to, everything's about social media presence these days. You got to stream stuff and have it online. And some of these kids will win gold medals they may never win again. And there's no video evidence of it that they could watch back 100 times and be like, oh, I remember this moment, you know, like, kind of stink. But
yeah, I think that's one thing that we've taken as 5-pin universe is like that is the future of our sport. We're not going to be on television. We're not going to be anything. The technology is out there. Why aren't we recording this way for the youth and for their families, for their friends? Even if it's just 2 people watching, that's more than not watching, right?
Yeah. I think it's really interesting though, because when you look at the amount of people who've been making comments about it, I think the viewership probably would have been really high for the national event. So,
well, Will
Yeah.
Thompson streamed his brother's bronze medal tiebreaker match on Facebook, and I think he had 30 people watching at one point as we were all watching along. So,
for just that one match, yeah.
and congratulations to Alex Thompson for winning that bronze medal for Manitoba. So,
Yeah. I know there was some like massive scores cross. I know Nathan Woodkovich and Michaela Sanderson both won the $1,000 scholarship for the senior division. Not sure what happened in some of the other ones. That's just kind of what I saw in passing this today, but lots of great bowling.
Yeah, we obviously know you can go to Bowl Canada's website and they'll have the YBC results there. One thing I did find a little bit hard on there is like there's no step ladder, so keep that in mind when you're looking at the results. If you're looking for step ladder, there isn't any of that, so the final result is the final result. Hopefully they make it pretty clear. I didn't look too closely at it, but
yeah, I haven't had a chance to pull it up yet, but yeah.
So
lots of great bowling.
Quickly shout out friend of the tour, Jaden Algair, won the senior boys singles in his last year, and I believe he is coming to Heritage tomorrow to come play. So,
oh, there you go.
Oh, back-to-back little weekends of bowling. He'll be ready.
Oh yeah, dark horse pick. Not even really a dark horse. He's made a ton of cuts already, and he's like 18. So
yeah, I know. When I saw him bowling in YBC something, I think last year, I'm like, isn't that guy like been around forever? But
yes, that's awesome.
This is fantastic for Northwest Territories bowling. Just like to have a gold medal coming out of there. I'm not sure when the last time that happened was, especially in the senior division, but something to look forward to in like the adult ranks as well, having that kind of talent coming up through the pipe.
Yeah, that's amazing. ROC.
He gone.
He gone. He's gone.
He was telling us that, yeah, he was telling us that the technology and trying to figure out the computer at his dad's house was challenging.
Yeah, let's hope he pops back in. Well, I guess that's our cue. We should be bringing in our guest of honor. That's Heritage Traditional. We have owner, operator, manager, all that fun stuff out of Heritage Lanes. Mr. Shelby Crest. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys? Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, you know how to use a computer better than Ryan.
So my dad's virus protection just popped up in the middle of the screen, and I clicked the X, and it turned everything off. Sorry.
That's because you went to a porn site before you joined. That's
I would never do that on here. Only on the dark web. Sorry.
Um,
Close the door now so I don't disturb my parents.
No worries. So Shelby, obviously the 2024 Heritage Traditional, fifth stop on the WCB Tour. You guys have it starting tomorrow at 11 o'clock, first shift. How's the lanes looking? What have you guys been doing to prepare for that early morning on Thursday? Is there any insight you can give us before we start going through the details? And
Not too early tomorrow, thankfully, but it is, yeah, it will be a long weekend. It does start early, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but yeah, preparations have been underway all week. I know the guys, Daryl and the guys have been working hard on the lanes, getting everything cleaned up, getting everything to the best that we can get it. Scoring's usually pretty fair at Heritage. It's been that way this year.
Yeah. We do have some insider info that the high side is still the worst side. Have you guys done anything to fix that pinfall? What's going on here?
I don't know what you're talking about. I think it's just an illusion. It's something that's going on. It's a conspiracy theory. Let's just go with that. I don't know. I mean, it's, you think of it however you want. I mean, it's we have as many big games thrown on the high side as we do the other side.
I say it kind of psychologically joking because I have had a 410 on the high side here before. So it's just, I don't know. I seem to throw like a bunch of really good games on the low side and then a couple good games on the high side. So.
Obviously last year
on the high side, Ryan, I think that's probably what happens there. It's closer to the bar. So, you're well lubed by the time you get over there.
This is true. Yes.
Yeah, I could very well be. The cut last year was 2141. We're looking like it's probably going to be the same amount of entries. I think that it's roughly the same amount of individuals. I was kind of counting it there. Looking around that 135.
I think we're up to 142 or something individual entries. 200 there are individual bowlers. 270 entries is what she had passed along to me today. Thank you to Cindy for handling all the incoming entries and coordinating all that for us. Certainly has helped keep things.
I know she's been doing a lot of work on that.
Yes, and it's muchly appreciated. It's a team effort. Everybody's been putting their time and effort into it this week, and I hope things go well. I'm sure they will. Hopefully, we get enough bowlers out, and the scoring is good.
Yeah.
We know it's going to be good. There's always good games. There's always good matches.
It's always good.
Yeah.
I can talk smack about the high side as much as I want, but Heritage is my favorite house in Canada to bowl in, or at least so far that I've played in. So I always look forward to this week.
You don't have to suck up to him. He's still going to let you play there.
I'm not.
I mean, the drool is dripping down your chin there, I think, at this point. It's okay.
Hey, I pay for beer the same as everyone else.
You can still bowl for free when you practice. It's fine.
Much appreciated.
We all know a lot of people come from across Canada for this tournament and stuff like that, but everybody happens to stay there, have the food in the lounge. You guys have some of the best food in any bowling center that we've been to.
The best.
Maybe Neb's Fun World might be the exception, that they have a full restaurant just like you do. Is that something that you as an owner operator have geared towards, Shelby, to make your center a full service?
Yeah, it's something that, we like to offer our guests, at all times. And, certainly it's been a challenge to kind of get rid of that stigma of bowling alley food. It's more than just hot dogs and fries. And I think we're doing a good job of it. We try and, keep the menu fresh, and we try and have something on there for everybody. A big thank you to our kitchen staff. Yap and the guys back there do a good job. We're really lucky to have that crew, and they'll be gearing up and ready to go. We will be offering breakfast too this year. If anybody interested, we weren't sure what the Radisson was going to kind of offer, so the guys will be there. Breakfast will be ready to go by 9 o'clock. So
nice.
Free to stop by, and we do get rave reviews on our breakfast menu. So check that out. It's something that we're proud of. We get a lot of good compliments from our menu and our kitchen. So
yeah,
it's always done a really good job in the past.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
sure. We also noticed Cindy had posted today on the Heritage Traditional page that you guys are doing the fruit smoothies again this year. I know a lot of people loved them last year, so that's awesome to have
Mhm.
a healthy substitute.
I think it came from the podcast maybe last year or something that Katie and the girls were doing that
I
they had
think that they
mentioned that
had,
it would be.
yeah, I think they had Brienne on the podcast last year, and
Yeah,
she was
using
doing
it.
a whole thing
Yeah.
about nutrition and having healthier snacks during the bowling instead of just the typical hot dog or French fries that you jam in your mouth. And
Yeah, I remember there was a nutrition.
Yeah, so that'll be available again. Yeah, the different smoothies. Don't ask me how to make them. I have no idea, but they seem to be popular, and then the girls do a good job with it. So yeah, that'll be available as well.
Can dill pickle poutine get back on the menu just for one weekend?
Depends. We'll see.
It was ridiculous last year.
You have to do the rest of this podcast, and we can maybe make something happen for you.
Nice.
And of course,
Not a huge fan.
the bar is going to be fully stocked. Moosehead is a contributor again to the event, so we've got lots of swag. They dropped off a bunch of stuff today, so that'll be available for anybody to kind of take advantage of. And Moosehead is also a member of Bowl Canada in terms of the power purchasing program. So I know all centers across the country have a chance to benefit from that program as well. So Moosehead is really getting behind the sport of bowling, and the proprietors are seeing the benefits of that if they are a part of that program. And I know there's more coming on every year. The product is good. All of the reps are good to deal with. The system's easy to deal with, and it's something that we're proud to be partnered with. So make sure you enjoy Moosehead product.
How many people? Yeah,
right.
How many people walk in with Moosehead T-shirts? Do you think?
Like tomorrow, you mean?
Yeah, like everybody had one last year.
I think everyone's got one. Yeah, and there's a bunch that give out. We've got some bucket hats. They dropped off some Truly bucket hats. Like Moosehead's, product line is more than just, Moosehead, Lager, and Crack Canoe. We've got some Truly stuff there. They're part of the Twisted Tea family, I think, too.
Are they the ones who do your tea on tap?
There's the rain question.
No, that's Troubled Monk. They're a local brew but it is popular for sure. So
yeah,
is that
it's
your
fucking
favorite?
fresh.
Is that one?
It's fresh. I like that.
My first Fireball with a pint of tea works out really well.
Yeah,
maybe a few corner spares. So it's it's called aiming juice at some point, I think, isn't it?
Aiming juice. I'll have to try it.
Carrie, I'll have one after me and Carrie win doubles tomorrow night.
Here we go. Speaking of doubles.
Look at that segue, guys.
That was a great
segue.
I like this one there. A&B Express. Thank you to Mr. Wilton.
Brad
Wilton attached towards that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Obviously,
you guys put him on that side of the bracket. That's not a nice way to thank him.
So we've heard rumor that one bracket may be harder than the other. I don't know how true that is, but I've received many have messages saying, "Oh, that's the death bracket." Yeah, what do you mean? So Group A, we'll just go over it really quick. We know Cindy did a live stream for the Heritage Traditional, but in Group A we have Lynn Walker. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Walker. Wow, really messed that one up.
It's supposed to be Walker.
Devin
1 for
Bartlett.
1. Good job.
Bailey Lawson, Robert Tompkins, Brandon Hagen, Eric Chose, Tim Wiseman, Tommy Tom, Sasha Latender, Darcy Latender, Emma Jean, Brandon Strang, Daryl Wood, Kevin Holdsworth, Justin Langrock, and Curtis Dunas on that side of the bracket. It's nice to see some new players in this doubles.
Oh, for sure.
Like Emma Jean and Brandon, I don't think I've ever played in before. The Latenders, I don't believe played on. Devin Bartlett's probably new to it as well.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, lots of new faces.
Yeah. Just quickly go through the Group B as well. Colton Uswall, Len Anseth, Anthony Street, Tyler McLean, Riley the Tender, Lyle McLaren, Ryan O'Callahan, myself, Bradley Tickett, Derek Orrin, Dexter Wiseman, Greg DeGrazia, Dwayne Gilardi, Brandon Mansell, the sponsor Brad Wilton, and Aaron Arndt, who is also helping sponsor the Innovator Youth Free Entry, which we know Heritage and their committee still get to decide on who they're going to give that to. But
And we haven't decided.
Yeah, it's going to be a mystery. It's going to be a surprise for
I'm only
everyone.
17. You should
I'll
give it
have
to
to
me.
talk to the committee and we'll decide that.
The look
sent
on
a
his
little
face was just like this. Yeah.
I sent a little reminder to Cindy today. She said she was going to look into it and then talk to you tonight, Shelby. So I'm assuming after podcast.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so the doubles. So if people don't know, the teams play everybody in their little bracket one time. They get bonus points for individual wins and the team win. And then after that round robin, the top 3 from each bracket move on and play a final group of 6 bracket.
Yeah.
Same
So they're
format,
playing
round
match
robin.
play. Yeah, match play against the person on the team, like bowling in first and then second, and those winners get 25 points, and then the team total is 50 at the end.
I believe so. Yeah.
Mhm.
See,
Which I
that's
think
the
is-
clarification I need. Is it another bonus 50?
Yeah, so that gets added to your pinfall.
Yeah, so
Wow.
you get up to a bonus of 100 per game. That's big.
So the
In past
wins
years,
don't
remember
technically
the-
matter.
With ties all the time. You remember that? You know, a few years
Yeah.
back.
When it was points, right? Because I know the one year that I played it with Chris Bradford, it was like match play points. It was one
Yeah.
for team and one for, so you could get 3 points or something per game, or 4 points or something. But
I
Oh,
prefer this.
That
way,
year
honestly.
you played with, the year you
With
played with
Bradford.
Bradford, was that the year I won with Rylan?
yeah. But
Yeah.
we don't talk about that. We talk about it was the year that I played with Bradford, and we got, I think, 3rd or 4th.
Oh.
But
Oh,
That
I was trying to
was
pull.
the
I was trying to
year-
pull an OC and talk about myself, but it didn't work.
That's not how we do.
That was the year Taylor and I were both blackout drunk on commentary, and no one ever watched that back on the internet, please.
yeah.
It's still
It's
up
out
there.
there. It's out there because I've seen it, but I refuse to watch it because
Oh,
I had
there
so
were
many
some
people come up to me
doozies.
the next day and be like, "That was so funny." I'm like, I don't remember what I said. So,
There was some doozies that night. Yeah.
hmm
There was
Mhm.
some doozies.
Commentary will still be open for anybody that wants to do commentary this weekend. So let's not try and do it blackout drunk like Mr. OC.
Not us.
There
'cause
might-
We're gonna be in the finals.
There might be a limit to how much alcohol you can consume before doing commentary. Maybe.
Impossible. I haven't found it yet.
So that's the doubles. We were saying the
Who's
top
your
3
favorite
from
to win?
each. There's
who's your
obviously
favorite?
one clear choice.
Oh,
Well, 50% of us probably agree that it's going to be Colton and Lent. No, just kidding.
God. I don't know.
Clearly,
You
we pick
have.
ourselves, but that's not. If I can't pick myself,
Hey, I get to pick first.
okay, fine.
I think Brad and Derek Orrin. You have last year's winner, the year before's winner. Derek's just coming off a win at the Green and Gold. That's who I picked.
Wash. They're no good.
Derek, double singles representative for BC this year, Masters and Open. Bradley, singles representative for Masters this year for Alberta. That's my pick. Derek and Orrin. Derek and
Stop
Bradley.
pumping tires.
Make a choice.
OC?
Make a choice.
I'm going to say Dwayne Gilardi and Brandon Mansell if I can't pick myself. So they're very good. Brandon is
Shelby.
Derek's
I
Conduit.
think it's only right that the sponsor has
Mr.
a
Wilson.
nice run. You know, Brad and Aaron. Why not?
Yeah. I'm just going to throw this out here. Tim and Tommy Tompkins. I think they'll have a good run on that side of the bracket and make it to the finals. Not saying that they'll get through the finals, but I can't pick myself. So
Can I publicly warn Tommy on the podcast that he's going to have to throw Tim on his back like a backpack, because he was my partner 2 years ago, and we probably would have made the finals if Tim had actually bowled. So good luck, Tommy.
So after doubles, moving on into main events. So there's 5 qualifying shifts this year, correct? One on Thursday morning, Friday morning, Friday afternoon, and then the 2 on Saturday.
You got it.
Top 31 move on.
Top 31. We did change a little bit this year too. I don't know if you guys noticed the qualifying payout.
I noticed the qualifying payouts. I wrote it down in my notes.
You are the statistician. That's right.
I am. I have all of
Explain
it.
to us how it goes.
Oh yeah, give me 2 seconds though.
I mean, we've
Putting
kept
me on the
same
spot here.
prize purse, right? We're still paying out the $16K, but we've decided that the top qualifier should be rewarded a little bit more than maybe the 30
I found
second.
it. Yeah, so top qualifier qualifies $1,200.
Nice.
And then second is 900, third 800, and then 4th to 18th is 500, and then the next 19 to the end is 400.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
a good
you
payout for
qualify
first place.
Yeah.
Still almost 2 shifts, right? If you need to play 2 shifts, but I think if these events that are getting close to 300 entries, if you're the top qualifier, that's got to be worth something. That shouldn't be the same pay in my mind as the guy that sneaks in at 30th or 32nd or whatever, right? So,
For sure.
I think it'll be good. I think it's something we had kind of thought about for a year or more, and we finally kind of put it into action. So
That also gives onus to some of the players that maybe they are playing really well and they're like, hey, I can play again and get that extra $800, right? It's not small beans anymore, right? Are you willing to spend another $225 to make another 800? Possibly.
yeah, and I still think by qualifying 32nd at $400, it's still you almost get your money back if you play 2 shifts is kind of the way I always look at it. You should be able to kind of feel that you can afford to play a second shift if you were close. And if you find that groove, and make the cut, then, you've got that part of it almost covered. So
For sure.
it's a change. I'm sure we'll hear some feedback one way or another, but I think it's positive.
We've seen that. Yeah, we've seen that in Regina. So I don't feel there's been bad feedback from that at all.
No, I like the fact there's a little more juice on top for the guys that qualify higher, or girls, like people that qualify higher. Like it gives you more incentive to try to shoot the lights out as opposed to just, get your 2,200 and call it a day sort of thing.
Well, I think what I've noticed too, I mean, not that I pay a ton of, attention to the qualifying scores, but, in the past, what I've noticed is maybe the top 2 or 3 qualifiers kind of have separated themselves. Typically those guys are close to 300 on the average. And then it kind of drops down into that 285, 284, 282. It kind of gets, a little more condensed when you get out of that top 4 or 5. But I think the top 5 qualifiers in most events, at least the top qualifier, he's elevated himself. I mean, that's often, 2,400 something. And and that's damn good bowling, man. That needs to be recognized a little differently than that 30th spot. So
For sure. Yeah.
Oh, agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, especially without having like a buy system, like where the top 8 get a buy into the next round. It's a good way to incentivize being top qualifier, right? It's not just an extra $100. Now it's $1,200. Like you're winning quite a bit more than the guy that
4
just
times
squeaked
as
in
much.
at 31, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's a consolation event, 32 to 63, get to play for that final spot. Is it brackets? How are we doing consolation event, Shelby?
Yeah, same as last year. So it was it's set up as a brackets. The next 32 will play a bracket format, and that'll happen Saturday night. As soon as we can get everything calculated, tabulated, get the lanes set, we'll be ready to go. And then of course that 32nd guy gets in. I can speak from experience.
I was about to say, who's the defending consolation champion, right?
You get in and you never know, man. You know,
Where did you
Never know.
finish last year after you won consolation?
I finished 4th.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you know, you get in, you get feeling a little better on Sunday, and who knows what can happen.
Never
Right?
know.
The guy that
Yeah.
got a lucky kickback on the last ball of the qualifying shift won the whole thing last year. No offense, Brad, but he got a
There you go.
lucky kickback his last ball and knocked Dwayne into 32nd, and he just rode it all the way to the championship last year. So.
Yeah. Brad was 21-41 last year.
Wow. The things you remember.
Oh yeah, well, that was high drama because I was sitting on like a 2160, so I was trying to not have everyone pass me the last shift. You got to remember these things.
Fair.
Motivation.
Motivation. And then we have a Friday night Bakers event. How many teams are we playing in that? Are we having the buy system again for
No.
a round of drinks every 5 games?
We are not doing that.
That got messy.
It's 20 teams, 20 lanes. Let's just keep it that way.
Perfect.
I mean,
are we doing?
you know,
Is there a step ladder again?
no, just 20 teams and we're done. Yeah. We're going to pay out top 5. There's of course side pots, you know, included in your $400 is the $100 side pot. So that'll be paid out. But no, once we get to the end of the 20 games, that's it. Wrap it up and we'll be done. I mean, you know, that was 2 years. I think we did it for 2 years where I think we took 24 entries or something like that. And maybe it was, I don't know, a couple more, but it's just logistically, it's a nightmare to kind of try and space that out. And yeah, it kind of turns into a little bit of a shit show. And
It makes the
We wanna
night so much longer too.
simple as possible on the proprietor. We want to make this as easy as possible for our proprietors.
Absolutely.
I'm guessing, like, though, the alcohol sales or the food sales was probably a little bit better when there was 24 teams. Probably wasn't worth the staff headache.
So, yeah. You know, I guess I could mention too that you know, this year, as in past years, all of the competitors, guests will be receiving member pricing all weekend too on food and beverage. So
Awesome.
that's going to save you, you know, about 10%, 12%. So yeah, keep that in consideration when you're enjoying your fine Moosehead product.
Oh, I still get the emails. I think I have a credit there still.
You maybe do. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Your membership. I haven't seen you forever.
Yeah. My membership's still valid, I think.
Can I pump up 59-cent wings tomorrow night and Sunday?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
59-cent wings, guys. Not
Sunday to
Friday or
Thursday.
Saturday, but Thursday and Sunday. I had an order last night. Delicious.
Top notch.
I thought you weren't there last night.
Oh, I wasn't drinking. I don't drink alcohol.
Oh.
You've been
I-
found out, Ryan. Yeah, so that's a promotion that we run all summer, and we sell a shit ton of wings, and they're good wings. So
Oh, they're delicious.
we've got, I don't know, about 12 or 14 different flavors. So yeah,
Mhm.
take advantage.
I did
Are
notice the
you-
last time I was at Heritage that in all of the bathroom stalls, like you have a promotion every night of the week, whether it's like ladies bowling night or food specials, or there's something going on all the time there. Hey,
We try and you know, keep it affordable for, you know, certain nights of the week. I mean, obviously, if you're going to visit us during prime time, it's going to cost you a little bit more. But you know, we keep those other nights of the week, you know, affordable. Ladies' night, Thursday nights, it's free. And, we do a lot of unlimited bowling nights and, you know,
Yeah.
things like that. You know, so when we were talking about the doubles, we, you know, there's not going to be a ton of bowlers, you know, involved. So we actually ended up booking a paint night in the lounge tomorrow night. So we're gonna have a little a bunch of artists or wannabe artists in the lounge. There's about 35 ladies coming in there, so I'm sure they'll be entertaining at some point.
They can pay me getting tapped for left corners on the high side all night.
So you're right, Katie. There's always something going on.
there's always something going on at Heritage Lanes.
So Sunday, obviously, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about it. It's pods of 8, right?
Yes.
Round robin, just like the doubles format. You get bonus 50 pins for a win. Play everybody in your bracket once. Top 4 move on, and keep breaking it down half, half, half till you get to the final. You guys have a tradition of running it with the names of the last year's top 4. So there's a Shelby Crest division this year. There's a Derek Orn. There's a Bradley Ticat. Who was the other one that finished in top 4?
I don't think Derek Orn was 2 years ago when he won.
Oh, that's right, with Brett Mapstone, right?
Ryan Edwards.
Ryan Edwards. Bradley, of course, our last year's champion, and Justin Langrock.
Oh, right. Langrock is who he beat in the final. That's right. I do remember that now.
Yeah, those will be the representatives of the brackets. And yeah, I think it's a great format. I mean, it's a format we've had since day one. It's simple. It's easy to understand. And, you know, I think you get, you know, the guy that wins is the guy that's played the best all day. You know, he hasn't won a match with a 630 triple or something like that, you know, and or the guy that throws 9-10 doesn't lose a match. You know, I mean, you're going to get rewarded for your good bowling and you're going to get penalized for your bad bowling. And that's where I think by having, you know, the top half of each bracket move on, eventually you get down to the guy that's bowled the best and bowled consistently the best, you know, all day. So, it's a great format. I mean, obviously I'm biased towards it, but, you know, I think it's good. We've got, again, this year, when we get to the final 4, we've got the Hot Shoe Studio guys coming in again to record it for us.
Because that's a step ladder, right? The top 4 step ladder?
No, it's just a round robin again, and then the advance to the final. So played on, you know, lanes 3 to 10, and then the finals are always on lanes 5 and 6. But we got a ton of play on Shaw Cable in Red Deer from that last year. They were just playing last year's coverage up until like last week or the week before. People text us and say, hey, you know, we see you on bowling again, you know, or whatever. So tons of coverage. The way that's worked out for us is they've got to fill so much local community content through, I believe it's the CRTC type guidelines that kind of force them to, you know, to do that. So we've got those guys to come back again, and they've kind of ramped it up a little bit too. We're going to bring back the old pin cam. I don't know if anybody remembers back the old in, you know, CBC days and the TSN days, we used to have the angle from behind the pins. So they've got 3 pin cams that are going to be set up back there. So our commentators, you know, would be able to comment on that, you know, pin action, good breaks, bad breaks, and all of the like. So yeah, we're excited. We're going to have a couple different angles. It'll be shown live then to the spectators on a couple of our big TVs, and hopefully Rogers will pick it up. Now that Rogers has bought out Shaw, there is no guarantee that that they're going to take this on as their local content, but I've heard, you know, unconfirmed and, you know, comments that it likely will happen and at least be shown locally. So
nice.
Are they wanting, I know last year we did commentary for them. We recorded it for them so they could post-produce it. Are they looking for commentary from our bowlers again, or are they bringing their own commentary this year?
No, they were not. They're not. No, they're not confident enough to, you know, to bring in their own. So we've reached out to Greg Giglick. Who else do we got? Derek Holm and Dexter Wiseman have committed, as long as they're not bowling, of course, to be taking on that role, as they did a good job of it last year and they felt fairly comfortable with it. And we're going to work a little closer with the camera crew this year too, so that it can be synced up and you know, coordinated a little bit better, so that when they're talking about Bradley bowling on lane 5, we can actually have a camera shot of Bradley bowling on lane 5. So
yeah,
you know, it'll be tightened up that way a little bit. And you know, when they talk about a bad break maybe on lane 7, there are no bad breaks at Heritage Lanes, but if they, you know, maybe get you know, maybe a corner pin left standing on lane 7, they can go to the pin cam, and maybe get that shot as to why exactly that corner pin was left standing. So yeah, we're excited. They actually were in there all day today, pulling cable, setting up cameras, getting everything ready to go. We've encouraged them to offer us some time for some player interviews too, prior to the matches, because that's something that we missed out on last year, as we can get to know the players a little bit, their background, how they're feeling, and kind of where they anticipate their match going. So
For sure.
yeah, it'll be ramped up a little bit, and we're looking forward to it. You can watch last year's coverage either on the Heritage Traditional website right now, or if you go to heritagelanes.com under the league tab there, it's got the coverage from last year. And we actually did a spotlight on Greg Giglick too. I'm not sure that anybody that really knows about that. Was a real interesting and a really nice spotlight on Greg from last year too. So it's also
perfect.
Well,
we did looking at your guys' website, it does state a step ladder for your Final Four, so I'm not sure if that was just missed this year, but it has been the pod system for like the last 5 years.
Yeah, so that would just need to be updated. Yeah.
And then one thing I did notice is you guys have brought in Cubica scoring for the people watching at home. They can watch live the scoring system that Regina Classic used to have all the time.
Yeah, we've always had Cubica scoring. We've had it for the last 14, 15 years, but we did an upgrade last summer that would allow us now to do some live scoring, and we will have a feed going at the Heritage Traditional website as well as our own website. Just find the tab, click live scoring, and you can watch who you want.
I love that. I know a lot of people that aren't at the event. When Regina used to have it, they were always watching it. It was up to date. It was live. You could see the running totals. That was the best part about it, right?
Well, and the nice thing was you could watch multiple lanes at the same time, and you could flip through lanes. Whereas some of the live streams, they're stuck on one lane where you just have a certain set of bowlers. But this way, you can kind of check on whoever you have in the field, no matter where they're bowling at any time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Carrie, is 5-Pin Universe not streaming this then? It's just going to be through Cubica, or?
No, we are streaming.
Oh, you have the stream as well on top of that.
Yeah.
So we'll be streaming.
Yeah,
well, it's just like an extra layer
scores.
of like you being able to follow whoever you want if they're not on the stream. That's cool.
Yeah. We will be streaming on the WCBT Facebook and YouTube page, just like we always do. It will be 4 lanes. It'll be 2 sets in one stream, just like we did for the Diamond Ladies Classic on the Sunday.
Right.
And then we will be obviously streaming the doubles on 5-Pin Universe. It's not part of the WCBT. It's a separate event, but the doubles is a perfect format for live stream, and people can watch it and pay attention to it and all that fun stuff. So
excellent.
Yeah.
What do you guys think the cut's going to be?
I was going to say, where's the important questions there?
Yeah, exactly.
Got to get to the nitty gritty of this. What's cut going to be?
So the individual entries is roughly the same as it was last year, and it was 2141 last year. So that kind of gives you an educated area where to guess. But we got to start with the guest. Ryan O'Callaghan, what's your guess?
2175.
Host Shelby, what's your guess?
Jeez. 2141 last year. About the same, I think. I think we're going to get about the same number of entries. Scoring's been about the same all year. Yeah, 2150. Somewhere around there, I think. You're going to have to play well.
I'm going lower, 2137.
Whoa. This ain't the ladies' podcast. Settle down.
It's supposed to be warm. It's supposed to be warm outside, right?
It'll be about 10 points higher than whatever Ryan bowls. So let's just go with that.
What an encouraging proprietor.
We usually always said
the engraving kept catching the grooves in the lane. So
we always used to say whatever Robbie Wolfson +1, but Robbie was high qualifier last year, so we can't even say that anymore. Robbie dominated Heritage Lanes last year. So
Okay, that's
I'm going to
what
go
Tim's
with,
this year.
21-32.
Wow. I
Okay, Price is Right rules. Wow.
You guys are all over. So
It was over 2,200 2 years ago. So I don't know.
Yeah, and in
It's split the
2018 it's 2104. So like it's all over
Yeah.
the place.
With like 43
I mean,
people
there's
playing.
still time to put a ton of oil on the lanes, Carrie.
that's perfect. As much as you can put on, please.
You want to get? I mean, we can guess 1950 if you want. And
Slather it on there
Perfect.
like pizza.
Grease
Make it
it up.
happen. Make it happen. And who do you think is going to win this year?
who are you asking?
Anybody.
Anybody?
Everybody.
I don't know. I don't pay enough attention to know who's.
I was going to say, I don't even know if I know who's playing
Who's
like the whole
throwing
list
well.
of players.
I was at the
but-
Green and Gold last weekend. I know Matt Schultz bowled well with Derek, so that would be an obvious, choice. So,
Mhm.
you never know. There's a lot of good players, right?
Ryan?
That seems like you're dodging the question. You saying Matt Schultz or not?
Yeah, you know what? I will. Sure. Yeah. He's going to beat me in the final.
Oh.
How about that?
Well, I hope
How
you
about
paid your
them apples?
WCBT membership so you can make tour finals, Shelby.
No, I missed
Jerry
out.
shaking
I
his
missed
head,
out.
No.
I know. I didn't get into it quick enough.
Yeah. OC?
Ryan, who do you think is going to win?
In a way to not attack anyone on this podcast, I'm going to choose my teammate on the soon to be national champion mixed team from Manitoba,
Second place. Second place.
Mr. William Thompson.
Hmm.
The kid is amazing. He's never played here, and it's going to be like Candyland for this kid. So. Mm-hmm.
Bold.
Mm-hmm.
Very bold.
I'm going to establish my dominance early, and whatever he throws, I'm going to be one higher.
Oh yeah, you gotta have the game. You gotta have the gamesmanship here a couple of weeks before nationals, eh, Rainer?
That's right. I'm going to shit talk your whole team the whole time.
As I expect, yes.
Yeah.
Cindy's saying it's going to be a three-peat.
Hmm?
A three-peat. So she's saying Brad Ticat, 2-time winner.
Ooh, I thought she was just indicating Tim's gonna 3-shift and miss. No, sorry, Cindy. I need clarification.
I'm going to go with the other Ticat. I think Tyler's been having a hell of a season right now, and he's been throwing massive at Green and Gold and things, and he's been putting the game face on at everything. So I think Tyler.
I don't know. I feel like he's almost bored at this point. Like he's in first in tour standings, and he hasn't won an event. So that says a lot to how good this kid is. So
Exactly.
and he's
This
not
is
on the podcast to be like, hey, you can't say that. He's very good. He's been dominant all year. So
He's decent.
he's pretty good.
Carrie?
I'm going to go another 2-time winner coming up, Mr. Greg DeGrazia.
Ooh.
He's in the air right now. Nobody's
on
on
his
the
way.
board with him, according to a snap he sent me. But
Like, if I'm not going to win, I would like the Greg to win. He's a nice guy.
he is a nice guy.
And I can't pick Ty because he's already picked. So the good guys are gone already. What else we got? What else we want to talk about?
Oh yeah, Tyler will win if he's wearing a Dream Crusher shirt. That's right.
Mm.
He was
Hey,
money in that Dream Crusher shirt.
I carried him day 1. He carried me on day 2. We almost caught Derek and Matt, and they had like a 600 pin lead on us. So almost did it.
Almost, but this isn't horseshoes.
Almost.
Close doesn't really count
Nope.
for anything.
Took
I'm not gonna lie.
more money home than third place.
That's true.
Watching the Green and Gold stuff this year, Colton and I might have something cooking for next year. So we might
There we
make
go.
the trek out to Bonnie Doon.
They had a fantastic event, for 50th anniversary. It ran so smooth. There was like no hiccups along the way. Their tournament committee just has it like nailed down. They figured it out.
And the money seems to be there to make it worth coming out for.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you definitely, like, if you're playing side pots, you have to win,
Mhm.
right? But like, I'm not sure they paid down to
12,
8th place, 12th place.
I think. Something
Not
like
bad.
that. Not bad.
Yeah.
One question for Shelby. Your volunteer crew, have you got like the same crew? Is it a new crew? I know Cindy's been like heavily involved again.
I mean, you can't run these events without having a great volunteer crew. So we've got of course, Cindy Seafried kind of heads that up for us, takes care of the online entries. She does a great job. Thank you, Cindy, for that. Mitch Ryu this year is going to handle the stats. He's going to be doing that with Lana Klubine, so that should go very smoothly. I'm assured. And yeah, I mean, we've got from our pin chasers, we've got some local central 5-pin bowlers kind of helping us with some of that. We've got some extra staff that we've had to bring in to kind of fill those roles. But yeah, I think it helps if you can keep the same crew year to year. There's some familiarity with some of the ongoings, and we've got a great staff. Our staff, we've been doing this I think since 2008, maybe, I think, is when it's kind of when we started hosting this event. So it's been around for a while, and yeah, hopefully everything goes smooth. And
Yeah.
big thanks to our team at Heritage Lanes for that. And that's everybody. That's our kitchen crew. That's our maintenance crew. All the kids at the front desk. Everybody. So
Yeah.
it's a long weekend. It's long hours. We typically don't open at 7:30 on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning. So there's a lot of expectations put on our crew to fill those hours and make things go as smoothly as we can. So a big
So
thanks.
just a reminder to all the bowlers, like, you're already saving 10-12% on your drinks, your food. So maybe
Put it
tip
into
10,
tips.
12% more. Yeah, there you go.
Put it
Yeah.
into tips. Yeah. Because your crew, they always do such a good job. Everybody from the wait staff and the behind the counters, and it just always goes so smooth. So it definitely takes a village to run tournaments like these. And it's nice to see some new faces kind of stepping in, like with Mitch doing stats, right? The last couple of years, especially with Pro League, he's kind of stepped into different roles within some of these tournaments and some of these leagues, and is kind of, I mean, from what I've talked to him, it seems like he's kind of found this newfound love of the competitive side of the game again. Came out and played the Open a couple of years ago and last year. And so it's nice to see them kind of take on roles and help with some of that behind the scenes stuff as well.
And those are roles that are super important. I mean, we can't handle all of this stuff that's required. I mean, to put these events on, and you do need that help, from those, from those local avid bowlers to take that interest. And that's why these events, have been succeeding, and they will succeed in the future. Right. So,
yeah. And it's good for the progression of it, right? You can't have the same people in for years and years and years, because eventually they're going to not do it anymore. And then you're hooped and you're like, well, now what? Right. So it's nice to see that new set of people coming in and kind of stepping up to some of those roles and taking on some of that challenge.
Absolutely. Fingers crossed. We hope we can put on another good show for you.
Great. It's going to go
you
great.
bet. So we might as well kind of wrap this up. Do you guys have any final questions? Shelby, any final words you want to give us before we let you all go and see you all tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't think so. I was just, obviously going to give. We've already, Katie touched on it. I just wanted to really give a thanks to all of my staff and the volunteers, and of course Moosehead, again for stepping up and contributing in the way that they do. All of the sponsorships, help. We don't have a ton, but the ones that are there for us, we definitely appreciate, and it kind of just takes a little bit of that that burden off, and financially, and it allows us to do some things like broadcasting the Final Four and trying to put the cherry on top of these events, and give a product that might be enjoyable for some people outside of the bowling community too. So
quick question, what's the age criteria? So they have to be a youth player, so either in YBC or I would say 19 or under. It's a youth program, So
It's like those
hopefully they're
transition
part of-
bowlers.
Yeah.
The ones coming out of YBC into the adult ranks that you want to give them an opportunity. Maybe they wouldn't play the tournament without that sponsorship, or maybe it's their first time playing the tournament, just to kind of encourage them to make that transitional leap into the tour.
Ease the financial burden on the youth,
For sure.
essentially. So, with that all being said, Shelby, thank you coming on. Thank you for running another great event and providing a fantastic center to play in.
It's our
thank you
pleasure.
enough.
Thank you
Safe
so much.
travels to everybody coming out.
Yeah.
you
We
soon.
will see everybody Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. The first shift starts. It'll be on the WCBT YouTube, Facebook page. Ryan, thanks for stepping in and filling the Wiseman's shoes. And Katie, thank you for joining us and filling
I'm the new
Tyler's shoes.
Tyler. Yeah, I'm the new Tyler.
Can I just say free the dill pickle poutine before we go off air?
I'll see what I can do.
Nice. Nice.
Perfect. All right. You guys have a great week. Ladies podcast next Wednesday, but we'll see you all this Thursday to Sunday on live stream. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you very much.